From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 11th, 2025. The IDF carried out a drone strike in Gaza earlier today, taking out a number of terrorists who it said were engaged in suspicious activity on the ground in central Gaza and posed a threat to IDF forces. In Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, Israeli troops continue their counter-terror operation, including in the area of Jenin, the IDF said, to thwart terrorism, eliminating a number of terrorists who posed a threat and arresting dozens of other terrorists as well. Also destroying 2 vehicles in Jenin that contained weapons, the IDF said, that were intended to be used to carry out terrorist attacks. And the IDF said earlier today a number of terrorists were identified at a site used by the Hezbollah terrorist organization in southern Lebanon. They were taken out by an Israeli airstrike. The Times of Israel reported that Israel and Lebanon agreed to hold talks regarding various border disputes today, citing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office, saying that the decision to hold the talks was made during a 4-way meeting held in southern Lebanon between the IDF, the United States, France, and Lebanon. Israeli Air Force fighter jets carried out an operation overnight last night in southern Syria, the IDF said, hitting radars and detection equipment used to build an aerial intelligence picture, in addition to military headquarters and sites containing weapons and military equipment of the Syrian regime. The presence of these assets in southern Syria, the IDF said, constitutes a threat to the state of Israel and IDF operations, saying these targets were hit in order to eliminate future threats. Well, a federal judge in New York City yesterday ordered that Mahmoud Khalil, the Palestinian who helped lead the anti-Israel pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University, not be deported, while the court considered a legal challenge from his attorneys. The protests at Columbia include the encampments on campus last year and the taking over of campus buildings and distribution of propaganda material from terror group Hamas in recent weeks. As we reported to you, Khalil was arrested by federal immigration authorities Saturday night, with the Department of Homeland Security saying that his activities aligned to Hamas, a designated terrorist organization. Meanwhile, hundreds rallied in New York City yesterday demanding Khalil's release and chanting slogans like Free Palestine and holding Palestinian flags. His hearing is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday. Well, just about a week after the Federal Task Force to Combat Antisemitism announced that the U.S. Justice Department opened an investigation into the University of California as to their response to anti-Semitism on campus, the Chancellor of UCLA announced a new initiative to combat anti-Semitism. Dr. Julio Frank said, through this initiative, UCLA will implement recommendations of the Task Force to Combat Anti-Semitism and Anti-Israeli Bias that include enhancing relevant training and education, improving the complaint system, and assuring enforcement of current and new laws and policies. Frank said, building on past efforts and lessons, we must now push ourselves to extinguish anti-Semitism completely and definitively. Regional Director of the Anti-Defamation League's Los Angeles office, Jeffrey Adams, welcomed the announcement, saying that while there was still a long way to go, this was a step forward. Adams saying now equally strong action must follow this announcement to restore a safe and secure learning environment for the entire Bruin community. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, March the 11th. That's 7 o'clock. Acclaimed Egyptian author and human rights activist Dalia Ziada joins Charles Asher Small and David Harris in conversation on the ISGAP Hour. At 8, Justin Pine speaks with Rabbi David Fohrman, founder and lead scholar at Aleph Beta, to reveal a new understanding of the Purim story and how it sheds light on the Torah more broadly. At 9, it's Uri Regev on L'chaim. At 10, it's Good Week Israel. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 11th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.